Hello, my name is Dorothy Rosen. I'm a goldsmith in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And today I foolishly decided to talk about how to determine ring size. And why is it that I say foolishly? Because, that's by the way, my water is hot here. Sorry about that. So yeah, determining your ring size is something that often, I get that question often this time of year. People want to know, either for themselves or for somebody else, how to figure out their ring size. December is actually a pretty big month for engagements. Of course, anybody wanting an engagement ring for December hopefully contacted a goldsmith much sooner. But yeah, so today I'm gonna tell you about how to figure out your size or that of someone else. And the reason I say it's tricky because number one important thing to know is that our fingers change all the time, especially in women and especially in women that are a little bit older. And I experience this myself, depending on how much water intake, how much salt intake, how much wine intake, what time of day it is, what temperature it is, our fingers fluctuate quite a bit. So I just want to start by saying that off the bat, but let me get into how you can actually figure out a ring size. So, single best way to figure out a ring size: go see a professional. Get your finger sized professionally because they know what they're doing. So you can do this at a local jeweler's, or you can make an appointment for me if you're local. I don't mind if you want to come in and just get your finger sized. I will totally do that. So that's one way to do it. And then let's go all the way back and figure out what can you do if you don't have any tools? How to determine ring size if you don't have any proper tools, professional tools? So the very first basic way to do it, if you're trying to figure out the ring size of somebody else and you're trying to make it a surprise, is you take one of their rings in a playful kind of manner. I talked about this in my newsletter this morning, actually. You just take one of their rings and you play around and you put it maybe on your pinky, or wherever, and you remember where it fits, and then you go to a professional and have your finger sized. And it's about the feel of it, so you have to remember where it feels right when you play with theirs, and then you very quickly, very soon afterwards, go to a professional goldsmith, or even they sometimes have ring sizers at department stores, if there's still such a thing. So yeah, so that's one way of, if you're trying to do it, make it a surprise. If you're not making it a surprise, or this ring that you're thinking about getting is for yourself, one way to do it is by way of cutting a piece of paper. You need paper. You need scissors to cut the paper into a strip, and you need a sizing chart, but I'll get to that in a second. So, and there's an FAQ on my website. I should have gotten that figured out ahead of time. So the way you do it is you cut it not too long. This one's probably a little bit too long. Oh, the other thing you need is, a ruler with millimeters, centimeter, metric, because it's a lot more precise. You can do it otherwise, but it's a lot more precise. So then you put your paper on your finger and you wrap it around, and then you make a mark. One second. It's a little tricky to do, especially by yourself. It's nice if you can have somebody help you. You make a mark where they overlap. You see where they overlap? That's where you make a mark, right there, and don't make it too loose. They tend to be too loose. and then you hold it up against the, oh, this is on my website actually, it's true. I did not even think about that. And then you hold it up against the ruler, like so. Oh, because you can't see. And you read the number. And in my case, this is just under 6 centimeters, which means 60 millimeters. And then I go to my sizing chart, and you can find these really anywhere on the internet. And you can kind of you can get close to determining what your ring size is, approximate in any case. You can also do this with dental floss, but it's important that it's correct. Now, I have tried all kinds of different ones in preparation for this, because I thought, oh, I know how to do this, and then I thought I better check and see what's on the internet. So a lot of them say to measure at the widest part, and while that makes sense, I've done it again and again and again, and mine measures correctly here. So this is not very accurate. That's why I'm not a huge fan of it. However, I do provide also a little bit more complicated chart like this on my website. And there is, so you can cut this thing out. There's 3 ways. You can do the measuring, and here's that chart that I just spoke about, where it would tell you if it's, 60 millimeters long, it's approximately this size, and so on and so forth. And there's also a method where you can lay a ring. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this for the here, but you can lay a ring, like mine's very wide, but you see this, it's not a size 7. This is getting closer. So you lay the ring over the circle. And again, I found all kinds of evidence on the internet saying, oh no, it doesn't work. I find that one to work pretty well. You have to see, the line has to just be barely visible on the inside of your ring that you lay over it, if you have a ring that already fits you. It's best to do several methods and then, figure out where they kind of agree. The common denominator. So the other method is by means of this guy here, and you cut that part out, and then where is she? There. And then then you have this, and you need to have a little slot up here. And I have a recommendation for you. In order to cut this slot here, fold it this way, and then cut straight right at that line. I've already cut it because it's too hard to be on camera and do this at the same time. But that way you get a straight cut, and it doesn't take away too much material, so your measuring becomes inaccurate. Then you stick this around and put it in here. I'll do this down here. There's your little towel up there. I wanted to be, I'm in my studio in front of my display cases. I thought I'll show you a different vantage point each time. I've done this a few times now, and now it doesn't, the paper's getting soft here. So you put that in, start out doing it like that, and then you put it on your finger and pull this guy pretty tight, and it'll tell you your ring size there. And these are super teeny tiny numbers, so if it says 9, if you can clearly read the 9, but then there is like another line, little dash or 2, that goes very quickly to 8. So just watch closely. Again, you can make a little mark. So that's another way to do that. Honestly, easier. Even if it's a cheap ring sizer, get a ring sizer. You can do that by having me mail you one. These are available complimentary on my website. Just do it because I want people to get the right size. I have this version and that version, whatever I can get. I'm actually hoping to get some more sustainably made ones in the future, but that's hard to do. So what this is, it's a ring gauge, and you look at the number that's written on it, you try these on, and then when one fits, then, you know, it has to fit kind of like this is too loose. I always say it has to have a little give over that. This one is still too loose, and you just keep going down. By the way, if you ever get a ring stuck on your finger, use Windex, in case you didn't know that. So you just keep going down. That's might be good. Maybe try one more smaller. Yes. Yes, that's a good one. It's a little hard to get on and off, but not too hard. So that's mine. And in this case, that says 7.5 on here. Probably can't see that. No. Maybe 7 dash. That means 7.5. So this is really a good way. Getting one of these plastic ones. And you can order them online on Amazon, I think, or you can get one from my website. I actually just packed one up to ship out. I can cover the address, but I packed one up just today because somebody read about this in my newsletter and already ordered one. So that's going to go in the mail on Monday. So that's another way. But the single best way is go see a professional jeweler, goldsmith. They will have this, and this is one of my favorite sounds, very Christmassy also. This is a wide band ring sizer. This is a narrow band ring sizer. And the reason that matters is because a ring like this or like this will measure different from a ring like this. These are two. Having said that, for my rings like these ones, this is the remainder of the 1 foot rings. They're all actually sorted by size. What I've left there, this the smallest was at the bottom, let's put it this way. So these are sorted by size. But what I do with these is I already have accounted for the fact that they are wider rings. So if you're measuring a 7 will fit you. So you don't have to go up a half size. That's what some people recommend. Any which way, if you end up ordering something online from any hopefully handcrafted maker or from me, it's good to let us know how, if there's a space, like on my online orders, there's a comment section. You can let me know how you sized your ring. So I have a better gauge better idea of how you get to that ring size. And if you're local, come on in and have me size you here. Or if you're not local, book a virtual appointment, and I'm happy to figure it out with you on the screen. We can go through this, I can send you that size, or you can cut it out, and we can do it together. And so that way, I'm a little bit more precisely clear on what size it is you are. So, remember that sizes fluctuate. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. If you purchase a ring and it feels like it's the wrong size, give it at least a week. Try it again and again at different times of day and evening, unless it's totally off. Because of the fluctuation of the hand, there's oftentimes, it goes up and down, and it will fit you at some point. If it ends up being too big or too small, there are solutions for that, and we can talk about that further another time. I've been making keeper rings lately for people. I'll talk about that another time. So I hope you have a great Sunday. We had the first real snow today, and then the sun came out. It's quite a gorgeous day here in Halifax, in this part of Nova Scotia. And I hope it's beautiful where you are, and I hope you're well. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.